The Constructicons form Devastator!
Okay, here's a look at X-Transbots Scrapper back in his vehicle construction alt mode. And I'm going to end my long series review for this figure here in alt mode because I already pointed out many times that, in my opinion, I think this is the mode where it looks the best, because this is where you can appreciate all of the extra details that they added that you can't really see in robot mode. And plus, this figure in particular has that nice working shovel bucket here that you can only appreciate in alt mode. So I'm going to end my review just, basically saying that all things considered, robot mode, alt mode, the combine mode, the form and function, this is a nice looking figure. And that is what X-Transbots does a really good job with, sculpting the figure. And their style is basically a fusion between the G1 toy and the cartoon. And they took the time to add in some extra details to make this more realistic. So it's kind of a combination of three, and that's their style. Unlike Fans Toys is going, for the toon aesthetics now, but in more of like that heroic look with the long legs, the shorter torso proportions, which is not bad. It's just a different style between these two. And so there is no right or wrong, good or bad between the two when you're talking about aesthetics, because that really just comes down to what your preference is. And for me, I told you many times I prefer the toon aesthetics, and I want it to be as close to the cartoon as I can. Unfortunately, the X-Transbots is not. But like I told you, I can appreciate all of this, especially if it's done really well like this, with all the details, the working gears. It's realistic. Not really my preference, but because they do a nice job, it looks really nice, and so I do like it. In terms of the robot mode and the alt mode, it looks fantastic. And of course, a lot of people are saying X-Transbots has all that articulation, and yeah, it does, but it doesn't work on all their figures, like, their Perceptor, the butterfly joints, doesn't work so well. But this one, it actually does. It's a thicker joint for the butterfly joint, which actually functions as multiple things for the figure. But anyways, I was saying that, that's just one aspect that, makes the X-Transbots figures nice. They have their own style, so it has their own look, which I do like. And they do... they make a lot of effort to do too much, such as the articulation and all this detail. But like I was trying to make clear, as a consequence, other things are gonna suffer. Like you already saw the combined mode leg. Yeah, it's not really stable, and that's because they spent a lot of their designs, for all these other things, like this really nice working hydraulics and this, but then they have to really get this to be stable. So they, have these arms. Then they start adding too many things, and the small piece that here to kind of prevent this from moving. And then obviously you need to prevent this from moving, and then that tab doesn't really lock in secure here. So now they end up having to fix all of this. So then they give you the display stand, and then they start complicating it more with the articulated, I don't know what you call it, leg or ankle, which is not very stable because, you know, it's all wobbling around because it's functions also as an ab crunch. And yeah, I'm just trying to make it clear that because, yeah, it's not like it's bad that they're doing it. It's just, I think they need to recognize that, you know, when you're trying to do all of this, you're making it very complicated where now it compromises other areas, and that's where things start to not work so well. But then the other issue, and this is the main issue with all X-Transbots figure, it's the type of plastic that they use. So it's, you know, all of their figures, there's certain areas that's going to be prone to breakage based on the way they designed it. And, you know, here I already made it clear the tires, and, you know, TM also, you know, pointed out the issues here. And I showed you on my long transformation, which doesn't seem helpful. So I just, you know, kind of took that off. But in how to fix it by filing it off and pointing things out. But yeah, it's the type of plastic that causes, you know, hairline fractures, and then it cracks and breaks. And then this nice figure is no longer a nice figure because something broke, and you no longer can be happy appreciating all of the nice things that they did with it. So that's always the issue, is the type of plastic. But like I always say, as long as you know it, are aware of it, and you know how to work around it when you're manipulating the figure, you can get around it. It's just like I said, with all X-Transbots, you need to go slow, be cautious, be careful when you're manipulating it, because, you know, the type of plastic that they're using in certain areas, the way they engineer it. That's why areas here, when, you know, you do the transformation guide for this, that's why it's not as simple as, okay, this now flips over and you tab that in, tab what in, tab it in, how, this and that. That's why I took the time to make a very long transformation video, because with X-Transbots, you do need to know how to carefully manipulate and transform it, because simple transformation here and there, if you don't know, if you're not aware of it, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to you're going to crack and break something. And yeah, but I just want to say it all now, because I don't know I'm going to do transformation videos anymore, because if they're not helpful, then you know, I don't need to spend a lot of time making transformation reviews, because, you know, it takes a lot of time, my time, as opposed to someone commenting saying that I'm wasting their time with the, you know, the transformation. Well, I never said it this way, but if I'm wasting your time, then don't watch the videos. And and why don't you take responsibility? It's not me wasting your time, it's you wasting time watching my long video. But anyways, I just wanted to get out all that rant, and I'll just end here and just tell you, because I'm trying to make it clear, I really do like this figure in terms of, you know, their style of aesthetics, which is, you know, the fusion between toy and cartoon and realistic. I think that's really cool, both in robot mode and in alt mode. Alt mode always seems to look the best. But anyways, I like it from that aspect, but as I already made clear, unfortunately, their combined alt mode for Devastator does not work on so many levels, and that's before this is even done. But I'm still curious to see, you know, how it's going to look. Their Devastator is going to look aesthetically. I think it's going to have a nice G1 fusion cartoon look, so that'd be kind of cool to see. But anyways, it's a nice figure. There are some cool articulations here with the figure, but there are things to be cautious of. So with all that said, I'm going to give this a rating of a 8.4 out of 10. So basically it gets a B rating. And remember, I said that's all things considered. Because if I break it apart, just robot or alt mode, it'd probably get a higher rating of like a 9.2 or something like that. But you have to take into consideration also the combined leg mode and the type of plastic for some people who unfortunately broke it, because you need to use caution when transfer. So all in all, 8.4 out of 10. It's a really nice figure. And then finally, I don't give recommendations, because if you want it, you'll get it. If you don't, you won't. But for me, I'm getting it because it is a nice figure, and you know, I'm one of those semi-completists. So if I have this and long haul, I might as well get all of them. And I'm going to speak to, you know, one of my YouTube friends was pointing out he's a very selective collector, and I'm telling you, I am kind of envious of that. I really wish I could be selective and only buy just the good stuff, but then I wouldn't have a huge pile of mess of mainline retail, new age, magic square, masterpiece. It's just too many figures. But for me, yeah, the way I'm collecting, I like to have the complete set. And obviously, you know, with any combiners, you have to have all of them. It just looks good. But anyways, I ramble. I'm just going to end my review there. This is a great figure, and looking forward to the rest of the Constructicons by X-Transbots and seeing what they look like in robot mode, alt mode, and the combined mode. And last, I just wanted to show you how I have this currently displayed in my collection with the other season 1 masterpiece. So you could see, just like I said, I intend to keep this in alt mode because I think this looks best in alt mode, because you could appreciate all of the extra detail here. The robot mode looks nice, and it would probably fit in with these being all in robot mode. But yeah, for now, I think this is how I want to keep my scrapper in its alt mode. And like I said, my fans toys I'm going to have as my Devastator. And just because these keep popping up, the Studio Series Dinobots are here just because I don't have the room down here for the mainline retail. And since I'm showing you that, I might as well just show you. Here is the Devastator, the Power of the Primes. And yes, I am collecting the, what is it? The new version of the Devastator coming out. And then, I guess I'll just do this. So here's the Season 2 Decepticons, and I'm really hoping that there was going to be a more tune-accurate version of the Coneheads. I know there is the other one. I forgot the name, but I don't like it because his chest should not be black. It should be gray like Dirge. And, you know, both Make Toys and that other company, it's not really tune accurate. But anyways, I'm kind of digressing here, and now you could see here is my masterpiece collection of the Autobots, and then yeah, the other season 2 Autobots. But also you could see I really like this set. This here is the New Age. So you could see, and here you could see the Constructicons and Scrapper, the way they handled it, and in combined mode. And then of course they're gonna fight the Autobots. And then also I do have the Magic Square, and yeah, you could see how they handled their scrapper and robot mode and alt mode and combine mode. I'm not doing versus here comparison, but just pointing out you could take into consideration also the differences between how they handled it. And then I'll just show you here the Magic Square Autobot collection. But anyways, I wasn't really planning on doing that. I just wanted to show you how the scrapper fits in my collection in alt mode and next to long haul with those nice Energon cubes from KFC. This is a really nice set. So like I said, I'm looking forward to the rest of the Constructicons. So that's it. That's my long series review for the X-Transbots scrapper.
Well, aren't you going to stop that thing before it chews up your precious planet Earth?